Hello students, today we are going to learn about cybercrime. So let's see the definition of cybercrime. Is a crime in which a computer is the object of crime or used as a tool to commit an offense. So there are two categories. One is the crimes that target computer networks or devices. So examples are hacking, phishing. So hacking is they are trying to access your computer and get the information. That's the computer is the target there. Okay. So next one is crimes that use computer networks to advance other criminal activities like cyberbullying. So they use the network to tease others. It's called cyberbullying, right? So this kind of crimes are called crimes that use computer networks to advance other criminal activities. So illegal downloads and child pornography. These are all examples for cybercrime. So let's see what is hacking. Hacking is gaining unauthorized access to a network or computer with an intention to steal or manipulate data. So the main purpose is to stealing the data or to change the data. That's called hacking. So hacker is a person who gains unauthorized access. So we have different types of hackers: black hat hacker, white hat hackers and grey hat hackers. So black hat hackers are the person who steal the information and for their personal gain. They use it for the destructive activities. That's called black hat hackers. White hat hackers, they are doing the same activity like black hat hackers, but they are using it for constructive purpose. So they used to explore the network and they test the networks. That's called white hat hackers. Grey hat hackers, they sometimes work as a black hat hacker or white hat hacker. So sometimes they use it for constructive purpose and sometimes they use it for destructive purpose. So these are all types of hackers. So next is spoofing. Spoofing is an identity theft. It is a fraudulent practice in which communication is sent from an unknown source disguised as a trusted source known to the receiver. So normally you can receive mails, right? So you click this link to access the particular resource or whatever it is. But if you click the link, it will look like a original website. For example, if it is a bank website, they will be giving the link. So that link, when you click, that will be directed to the website. That website looks like a original website of the bank, but that is not a original website. It's a fake website. So this is called identity theft. They are creating a website like a original one, right? So this is called spoofing. We have different types of spoofing. Email spoofing. So the email address will be looking like a original email address of the concern of any organization, right? Or website spoofing, caller ID spoofing and IP spoofing. So these are website that looks like a original website name, a regular website name, but that's not a original website. That's a fake website. So spoofing is basically done to get a new identity. Spoofing can be part of phishing. So let's see what is phishing. Phishing is a practice of attempting to acquire sensitive information such as usernames, passwords, credit card information, account data from individuals over the internet, right? So normally you will receive mail by clicking this one, just fill this form. So that form will be asked to give your username, password or credit card information. So this is called phishing. So how they achieve this phishing? Through the spoofing. So there is an email, so that looks like an original mail getting from the bank or some information. So when you click the mail, you will be asked to enter these details. So that's not at all original website. That's a spoofing they used to gain some information, to get some sensitive data from you, right? So that is called phishing. So mostly this will be in the form of email and text messages. So next one is pretexting. Attacker obtains information through a series of cleverly crafted lies. So the scam is often initiated by a preparator pretending to need sensitive information from a victim so as to perform a critical task. So the pretexter asks questions that are ostensibly required to confirm the victim's identity, through which they gather important personal data. So this will be in the form of telephone calls. So normally people telling that we are calling from bank, the ATM number or PIN number, credit card number, they will be asking, right? So those calls we should not give our personal information. So that form of cybercrime is called pretext. So next one is cyberbullying. So this is harassing, demeaning, embarrassing, defaming or intimidating someone using technology. So cyberbullying is a crime. So normally bullying is a crime, right? And cyberbullying is also a crime. Doxing. We have different type of bullying. One is doxing. So this is revealing personal information about an individual. So giving their identity, giving their phone number to unknown people. Okay, so through that they will contact the people for different purpose, right? So that is called doxing. We should not reveal the personal information about other individuals. And harassment, so posting threatening messages. Okay, so that is a kind of cyberbullying. And impersonation, creating fake accounts and posting things to damage victims' reputation. Okay, from unknown accounts, from fake accounts, they will be sending the messages to the people. So that is called impersonation. And cyber trolling, derogatory messages or comments posted online targeting people. So that is called cyber trolling. And then cyber stalking, it's a kind of online harassment wherein the victim is subjected to a barrage of online messages and email. So continuously sending messages from the fake ID, sending the messages and targeting the victim. That is called cyber stalking. Next one is online scams. So fraudulent online business practice that extracts money from an unsuspecting ignorant person is called online scam. Okay, so this is normally when delivering goods. So we'll be paying for the goods, but we didn't receive the goods properly, or we will be receiving some broken goods. So that's called online scams. Next one, illegal downloads, obtaining files for which you don't have the right to use or download from the internet. Okay, so normally downloading videos or downloading movies, downloading songs, downloading softwares, okay, which are licensed. So somehow we'll get the copyrighted or pirated software. We normally use that, right? And sometimes so that's all illegal activities. That's a cyber crime. Next one, child pornography, any visual or written representation that depict sexual activity of someone under the age of 18. So people under the age of 18 are called child. So any such activity is cyber crime. According to the new IT bill, not only creating and transmitting obscene material in electronic form, but also to browse such site is an offense. Next we are moving on to Cyber Law and IT Act. So Cyber Law, also called IT Law, is the law regarding information technology including computers and internet. So these cyber laws are there to protect, to give legal solution to the cyber crime. Okay, it is related to the legal informatics and supervises the digital circulation of information, software, information security and e-commerce. So what is IT Act? IT Act 2000's prime purpose was to provide legal recognition to e-commerce. The Act was later amended in December 2008 through IT Amendment Act 2008. So it provided additional focus on information security. It has added several new sections and an offense including cyber terrorism and data protection. So let's see some of the main features of IT Act. So this act has given birth to new business to companies to issue digital certificates by becoming the certifying authorities. Previously the digital certificates were not allowed. Okay, original hard copies were allowed, but after this IT amendment, e-certificates also considered as a legal certificate. Okay, and digital certificates. So this act allows the government to issue notices on internet through e-governance. So e-governance becomes prominent role here. And email is now considered as a valid and legal form of communication. So digital signatures are given validity within the act. The communication between the companies or between the company and the government can be done through internet. So we are submitting all the online forms, okay, bills, okay. So these are all considered legal activities. Okay. So in case of any harm or loss done to the company by criminals, the act provides a remedy in the form of money to the company. And here are some of the sections under IT Act 2000. So we have different sections which gives the punishment and penalty. Okay. So that's all about today's topic. So we have covered about cyber crime today. Thank you.